Hey guys, Tina here, the FAFSA Guru. Just wanted to get on live today to talk to you all about financial aid award letters. This is the time of year I'm getting a lot of phone calls from parents who and students who are receiving their financial aid award letters in the mail, and they are making appointments with me so that we can kind of go over them and discuss them, and they can figure out what they are all about. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how to break down that financial aid award letter and what does it all mean. So it can seem like a lot of mumbo jumbo. You know, you fill out the FAFSA, you fill out the CSS, and then all of a sudden you get this award letter in the mail and it tells you these different sources of aid, but you have no idea what they mean. So that's what I'm going to go over today. So let's break this down. The financial aid award letters students are starting to receive now, but a number of them will be coming. Usually around March is when they typically start getting sent out from the colleges. And when you get your financial aid award letter, it's actually going to outline financial aid that you're eligible or your student is eligible to receive for the fall and spring semester. So it's going to be broken down by each semester. There'll be a total award amount for the year, and they'll get half in the fall and half in the spring. So let's kind of go through these one by one. So the first types of financial aid that you'll see in your financial aid award letter will be the free money. So any merit scholarship money that your student or you got awarded as a result of your GPA at the high school level is going to be noted first typically, and that's called a merit scholarship. And all colleges have different amounts of money to offer, so you may see a larger merit scholarship at one university than you'll see at another university that you apply to. The next thing you'll see, if you're eligible, is called a federal Pell Grant. This is a free grant that the government offers to help you pay for your education, and typically Pell Grants are for lower income families. So all the information you provided on the FAFSA is actually being considered in determining your Pell Grant eligibility. This year, the award amount is up to around $6,000 for the year, which is nice if you do get it. But again, there's a lot of people that don't. A lot of those families kind of fall into that middle income category and don't qualify for the Pell Grant, unfortunately. The next thing you may see is a federal state grant. This is also usually based on income, although the guidelines are a little bit more lenient than the federal Pell Grant. Every state has their own grant money to award residents of that state, and they usually use FAFSA information to determine the award. So if you're eligible or your student's eligible to receive that, you will see that in your financial aid award letter. Then there are what are known as institutional grants. So institutional grants are really, it really depends on the amount of money that your college has to offer, how well endowed they are, I guess you could say. So some colleges have a lot more money to offer than other colleges do. And this is where it will reflect in the institutional grant or scholarship, they'll call it. So you may receive a $5,000 institutional scholarship at one college and a $15,000 scholarship at another college because they have more money to offer. So you could see at one of the most expensive private colleges on your list that you actually get a better financial aid package than the public university you applied to. It all depends on how much money they have to offer. And with the institutional grants, they're taking into consideration the FAFSA information and then the CSS profile information if they required you to fill that out. So the first few things would be the merit scholarship based on GPA in high school, the federal Pell Grant and the state grant, which are typically income-based, and then any institutional scholarships that your students are eligible to receive. The next thing that you're going to see in your award letter that every student sees is called the subsidized and unsubsidized direct student loan. So this is a guaranteed loan that the government offers students to help them pay for their education. If you're going to take a loan, it is a good loan to get. It's guaranteed, which means it's not based on credit. It's a loan that they can get in their own name. They don't need a cosigner. A parent doesn't need to be on the loan with them. And no payments come due on this loan until 6 months after after they graduate or drop below a half-time status. So as long as they stay in school at least 6 credits a semester, these loan payments will be deferred and they won't have to make any payments on them until after they graduate. With the direct loan, it's broken down into 2 different portions, subsidized and unsubsidized portion, and it just depends on your income in terms of the different amounts that you'll qualify for in each one. The big difference between the two is that the government will pay the interest that accrues on your subsidized loan while you're in school, and on the unsubsidized loan, the government will not pay the interest. So that's going to be accruing and adding up the more you borrow. So what a lot of families will do is choose to make interest payments while the student is in school to prevent that interest from accruing. So that's really the big difference between subsidized and unsubsidized direct loans. Current interest rate on those right now is 5.05%. So it's a good loan to borrow. It is a variable rate. It does change every July. So that's the subsidized and unsubsidized direct loan. The next thing that you may see in your award letter is a federal plus loan. This is a parent loan that parents can take out on behalf of their students. It's also federally funded. It's a low interest rate, 7.6%. It is variable. It changes each July. This is different in that it is based on credit. So parents, this is a loan that the government is going to actually check your credit on and determine whether or not you can borrow this loan. The nice thing about this loan is it covers, you can borrow up to the total cost of attendance minus any financial aid the student is getting. So it is a good loan to get to kind of cover the large expense that your student may have left to pay. However, it's a loan that you have to take out in your name and be responsible for. And payments typically start coming due about 60 days, 30 to 60 days after the loan is dispersed, but you can choose to have those payments deferred also while the student is in school, but the interest will accrue. So that's something to keep in mind. One thing I just want to mention about the Parent Plus loan that a lot of people aren't aware of, if there's for some reason you might be denied a Parent Plus loan based on credit or something like that, it's worth applying for, because if you get denied that loan, then your student can qualify for some additional unsubsidized direct loan money to kind of make up for that. So that's just something that a little tip that not a lot of people are aware of. If you think there's a chance you may not qualify for a Parent Plus loan based on credit, apply for it, get the denial so that your student can actually get some additional unsubsidized direct loan money awarded to them in their name. It could be an extra $4,000, so it makes a big difference. And then one of the last things that you'll see in the financial aid award letter would be alternative loan eligibility. So alternative loans are intended to pick up the gap in financial aid. It's really a last resort of funding. It's the last resort type of loan that you would ever want to borrow, because the interest rates tend to be higher. The terms aren't as good as the federal direct and the plus loans, so you just kind of want to keep that in mind. There are a ton of different alternative loan lenders. You can find right through your financial aid office. They usually have a preferred lender list of 5 or 6 or 7 different ones that you can apply for. But again, this would be a loan that you can borrow to cover the total cost of your student's attendance minus any other financial aid they're getting. So a student can actually borrow an alternative loan. However, it is based on credit. So 99% of the time, it requires that they have a cosigner. So even though the loan would be in the student's name, whoever's co-signing, of course, is going to be responsible for that loan also. Most of those payments do come due while students are in school. There are some lenders that are now offering deferred payments for once they graduate. But I just kind of wanted to break it down a little bit for you between scholarships and grants and loans to kind of help you figure it all out, because I'm getting a lot of calls. You see these different things in the award letter, but you're not sure what they are. Oh, and there's one thing I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention. Federal work study, you might also see in the financial aid award letter. So if a student gets awarded work study, that basically means that they can get a job on campus In one of the academic departments, usually, there's a ton of different work study positions that students can apply for, and they can earn a paycheck for the work that they do. So let's say they get an award of $2,000 for each semester. That means they can earn no more than $2,000 for that semester in work study funds. And they will get a paycheck, bi-weekly is the way that it works. So some students will use that. Some families have students to kind of use that as their money to help them live, for the incidentals. And then other families have them work and then have that money go directly towards their tuition and their bill. So that's federal work study if you're eligible for that. It's actually a really great resource for students. And, if mom and dad, you're kind of putting money in their account every month or going to be giving them some spending money, this is a great way for them to make some money on their own and be responsible for that a little bit and take a little bit of burden off you. So that's it. If you have any questions, give me a call. I'm here. I'm scheduling appointments now to help families go over their financial aid award letters and apply for their loans and kind of figure it all out. And I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.